Close your eyes for a moment. Hear that? The hush of waves just beyond the trees, the soft rustle of fronds swaying like whispers in the wind. Now, imagine this. Morning light spilling through tall glass, pooling on polished concrete floors. The scent of salt and earth drifting in with the breeze. You're barefoot, unhurried. The day hasn't begun, but somehow it already feels full. You step out, and the jungle greets you like an old friend. Vines curl around wooden beams, not as decoration, but as welcome guests. Sunlight dapples through slatted eaves, warm on your skin, cool in your soul. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it's a simple way to show your love for these incredible designs. And then you feel it, the contrast, the strength of steel, softened by the dance of light and shadow. The structure of a barn, reimagined not for livestock, but for living, truly living. This isn't a mansion perched on a hill. It's not a city penthouse wrapped in glass. Number? This is something deeper, something freer. It's a home that doesn't shout for attention. It simply breathes. This is where architecture becomes atmosphere, where design steps back and nature steps in. It's the place where modern meets wild, where simplicity meets soul. This is a tropical modern barndominium, and it's about to change the way you think about home. You've seen modern homes, sleek, white, perfectly polished. You've seen rustic barns, weathered, grounded, rich with memory. But what happens when the two worlds touch? When warmth meets minimalism, and nature doesn't knock, but walks right in? Far away from sterile suburbs and crowded skylines, something quietly extraordinary is taking shape. It doesn't follow the rules. It rewrites them in driftwood and shadow. This is a tropical modern barndominium, and it's unlike anything you've known. It's bold, not because it tries to be, but because it dares to be open, breezy, honest. Here, concrete doesn't feel cold. It feels calm. The walls aren't blank slates. They're stories waiting for morning light. Glass isn't for display, it's for breathing, for blending. You don't just see the outdoors, you feel it pulse through every inch. And the roofline? It's a quiet nod to barn heritage, sloped, strong, grounded, but the materials, the angles, the light, they whisper something new, something alive. We share new content regularly to help you create spaces you love, so don't forget to subscribe. You won't find ornate chandeliers here. You'll find woven pendants swaying gently in the wind. You won't find sealed windows. You'll find open arms, wide wooden frames that let the world in. This is not designed for show. It's designed for soul, for people who believe home should breathe and move and speak. A place that shelters you without shutting out the sky. Because in a tropical modern barndominium, the jungle doesn't just surround you, it becomes you. Step inside. The transition is quiet, almost invisible. One moment, you're among palms and dappled sunlight. The next, you're wrapped in coolness. Not air-conditioned, not artificial, just balanced. The space knows how to breathe. Polished concrete glides beneath your bare feet, smooth as river stone. The walls don't press in. They seem to drift outward, folding into the world around them. Light filters through hand-woven rattan, casting soft, shifting patterns that feel more like dreams than design. It's a home, yes, but also a conversation. Between structure and softness, between shelter and surrender. Every room flows, not by accident, but by intention. There are no sharp turns, only slow curves, gentle transitions. Here, even silence has shape. The kitchen hums with simplicity. No excess, no clutter, just intention. It doesn't close itself off from the world, it opens fully. Not only to the dining area, but to the air. You smell it before you see it. Ripe mangoes, wet earth, distant blooms carried in by the morning. The colors stay quiet, soft taupe, driftwood gray, woven beige. They don't compete with the green outside. They hold it, they let it shine. Every tone is an anchor, grounding you in calm. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means to me, and it helps keep the design ideas coming your way. And that roofline, angled with care, bold yet gentle, it isn't just practical. It catches the sun like a sail. It guides the rain, not away, but into hidden channels that feed the earth again. That's not a feature, that's poetry. This home doesn't ask you to admire it. It invites you to live slowly, deeply, completely. You may wonder, who looked at the dense, humming jungle and imagined clean lines and open spaces? Who thought to bring Scandinavian clarity into a place where orchids grow wild and the rain sings louder than the city? Who dared to take the humble barn, born of utility, of soil and sweat, and let it breathe beneath a coconut sky? The answer isn't a name carved into stone. It's not a single architect or a signature on a blueprint. It's quieter than that, slower. It began as a murmur, a longing in the hearts of many, not for luxury, not for status, but for something more essential. This was a response, a soft rebellion against the coldness of cities stacked high and gray, against noise without meaning, against homes that feel more like fortresses than places to feel alive. And so, they returned, not backward, not in nostalgia, but inward, toward materials that age with grace, toward light that shifts with the hours, toward walls that don't shut the world out, but hold it gently, like a breath. It was never about trends, it was always about truth, about letting form follow feeling, letting beauty emerge not from ornament, but from intention. These tropical modern barndominiums weren't designed to be impressive. If you love this type of look, hit that subscribe button to help us create more videos. And let us know in the comments what you'd love to see in future videos. They were designed to be felt, and once you feel them, once you stand inside that space where modern clarity meets the wild heartbeat of the tropics, you begin to wonder too, not just how this idea began, but why it ever took so long to arrive. These homes aren't just built, they're grown. Not assembled like puzzles of drywall and trim, but shaped with breath and patience, with the rhythm of the land itself. Every beam, every window, every open-air passage is a decision to slow down. They don't rise against nature, they rise with it. They don't dominate space, they listen to it. And in return, they offer something most homes have forgotten: stillness. Here, the walls don't echo with noise, they echo with life. Laughter tumbling down from a hammock. A quiet meal under soft dusk light. Children, barefoot, chasing geckos between palm shadows. Dinners that start in the kitchen but end under starlight. No boundaries between indoors and out. There is no rush in these rooms. Time stretches. Mornings spill gently into afternoons. Afternoons dissolve into golden evenings. You begin to notice things you used to miss. The texture of the breeze, the sound of leaves folding, the way silence can fill a room without making it feel empty. These spaces don't just shelter you. They shift you, calm you, invite you to be present. Because here, nothing demands your attention, but everything deserves it. And perhaps that's the real magic. These tropical modern barndominiums remind us that home isn't always about walls or doors, faucets or fixtures. Sometimes, it's light drifting across a woven mat, a pause between the wind, the soft weight of belonging. Sometimes, home is simply a place that lets you be exactly who you are and lets the world in just enough to remind you that you're alive. So, what if we've been wrong about luxury all along? What if it isn't about marble countertops that echo when you speak, or crystal lights that dazzle but never warm the room? What if true luxury is something quieter, like the sound of rain dancing on a tin roof, the weight of wind moving through open slats, the touch of sunlight as it rests on your skin, not filtered, not forced, just there? What if we stopped trying to make homes smarter and made them softer instead? Less about control, more about connection. Less about convenience, more about presence. A place that doesn't close the door to the world, but opens the soul to it. Because maybe the future of living well isn't more technology. Maybe it's more truth. A home that hums with wind, that remembers the earth beneath it, that says quietly, "You're safe. You're held. You can rest now." A tropical modern barndominium is not a trend. It's a return, a remembering, a realignment with the things we forgot we needed. So if something in this stirred you, something small, like a longing you couldn't name, then don't scroll away. Stay, subscribe. There is a whole world of beauty waiting in places you've never thought to look.